Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to my blog. I am currently on week 19 of the off season and just progressing along. Just going to give my general update on nutrition, training, how things are going, and go from there. Last week my body weight was sitting around, I had just gotten up, and on the day I had done my check-in with myself, I was at 249.2. And all the prior days, I was sitting lower, and I just hit that heavy day. So this past week, I've kind of been floating around above that and a little below it. But overall, it looks like body weight's trending upward. I did weigh in the same today, 249.2. I did hit a day where I hit 250, and some days around like 248.6 and going around. But overall, it looks like I'm trending upward. And I think that's important to see and not just look at it on a one-day basis, because a lot of people, if you weighed the same in a week, you'd say, if you're chasing the scale, it's like, well, time to bump up food. But I don't think that's always the best decision, and that's when you need to look at all the other factors in your physique. So looking at my pictures is one thing to really look at, and it's hard because, you know, when we're in the off season, week to week, you're not going to see these vast changes like you do when you're dropping body fat on prep. So some things you just have to kind of trust the process, and if you have acute things that are changing that are positive, just let it ride out. And what I mean by that is training. But before I get to training, just my changes in my physique, looking at my pictures, I have some shots that look a little leaner, and what I really see it on is my side relaxed poses. My glutes look a little deeper, and I can see a little more in my obliques, and it's pretty subtle, but again, it's something to go off of. I took some measurements and just some quick caliper sights on a few things, and nothing had really changed much. But it's not like in a week I'm going to see like a 1/4 inch put on my arm. It's just unlikely, you know. It's just not going to happen that fast. Otherwise, you know, if it was, it might have been body fat to increase that fast. So we're looking at those things, but also my training for the week has been really good. Strengths continue to increase on every single lift. Even on my hack squat, I went up about 40 pounds and hit an extra rep, which if we did the total volume for that, the weight I lifted times the reps I lifted, the prior week was around like 7,100 pounds total for that set, and this week it was 8,300 pounds for that set. So you see like a 40-pound increase. And to give you some context to that, like the week prior was like 645 pounds, and this week was 695 pounds. So it was actually 50-pound difference. So a 50-pound difference and an extra rep adds on like 1,300 pounds of volume for that set, which is a large increase. So that's why I'm always telling you guys, like, even if you're tacking on like a 5-pound weight, like a 5-pound weight done for 10 repetitions, that's 50 pounds of total volume added on a set. Like that over time will add up to where you're using more volume. So don't think of volume in just terms of your set number, but it's also the weight that you're using for how many reps that you're using. Not to get off on a tangent, but also how far you're taking those reps to failure, because the quality of that volume matters as well. But anyway, my tangents here, trying to stay focused. But anyway, training, those are acute variables that I like to look at in off season. And if strength is increasing, then I know that's a good indicator that likely lean tissue is adding on, or will follow suit soon. So it could be some neurological changes just with the repetitiveness of movements, but also that usually will end up translating to more tissue. So I think that's a positive thing, looking at that, and with everything wrapped around in context with looking slightly leaner in my pictures, my hunger is about where it should be. I'm not feeling real full bloated throughout the day. I'm kind of ready for my next meal. I think with all that said, like, I'm not going to make a change this week, and I'm going to let that same plan that I've been doing just kind of ride out. And it's posted below if you want to take a look at the exact calories and how much protein, everything that I am doing here. So I'll let that ride out. One thing else that I want to add in for this past week is that I did have a cheat meal, which some weeks I have like some sushi, which it has a, you know, a minimal impact on me. It's like fish and rice, and I don't eat the real heavy fried rolls and stuff. It literally is just the fish and rice rolls that I eat. So like a true cheat meal, like going and having something that's calorie dense, that's really high calorie and over my caloric intake for the day, it is pretty rare. The last time I had a true cheat meal was when I went to North Americans the first weekend of September and had some food, quite a bit of food off plan then. So it's been nearly 8 weeks, and we finally, Renee and I had been talking a while about having a BJ Brewhouse pizza at home and eating it and watching a movie. So we finally did that, and we went to the Comic-Con, and Renee did a body paint, and she was like the Predator and Venom, and it ended up taking a long time, and I didn't think it would, so I didn't plan to bring meals, and we were like so hungry when we got out of there. We were like, you know what, this would be a perfect time just to have our pizza, and we did it. And it was awesome and totally worth it. So pretty enjoyable. But even the impact of having that, like my weight didn't jump up the next day because we're active walking around, and that was combined into like 2 of my normal meals. So with my calories this high, it doesn't impact me that much. But you know, I'm pretty content with my diet, so I don't think you should be having a cheat meal every week in the off season. I don't think it's productive. At some point, as you're moving up the ranks, like, you're gonna have to cut out stuff that it's gonna make you better, and cheat meals don't make you better. At least for me, they just make me fatter if I keep doing them over and over, and that isn't productive for me trying to start prep in a lean state and adding lean tissue and keeping insulin sensitive and responsive to all the other good foods I'm eating. So if you're asking, you know, how many cheat meals can you have a week, it's definitely the wrong question. You should be asking, you know, what else can I be doing to make myself better? And that answer might be cutting back on cheat meals. It might be having like a cheat meal once a month, or maybe every 2 months, or even further, maybe none. You know, some people can't do that, and you know, I want to get better. I want to compete at the highest level possible, and if that's the sacrifice I have to make, no problem. I'm not signed up to live an ordinary life, a normal life. It has to be something greater. That's what I want. So, but at least for my one night with Renee, we had our pizza. So anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in. Again, look below. I have all the information, my diet and my split. If you want to leave any comments below in the blog, be happy to answer those for you guys. Until next time, we'll talk to you then.